Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's Tuesday, the Tuesday after the long weekend, the long Easter break weekend. And I'm back at work and a little bit cooler this morning than what it was before I went away for the weekend. And you can sense, you can feel that autumn is starting to kick in, and the weather is slowly starting to change. But like every year, we welcome the changes of season, because each season brings its own beauty, brings its own moment. And this year, autumn brings us Easter, brings us Anzac Day, and brings us a number of opportunities that are yet to be realised and celebrated. Anyway, what I want to do today is continue along my typical sort of way and talk about a book summary. The book summary that I've selected today, randomly selected, is called Expert Secrets by an author known as Russell Brunson, who's put together a potpourri of tricks to consider, marketing hacks that are used by influencers so that they can appear to be bigger, better, and more influential than what they actually are. It's a little bit like the Wizard of Oz. When you look behind the curtain, you'll see that a lot of these influencers, a lot of these leaders are nothing more than a fake, but they tend to use some really good tricks. They tend to use some techniques which are time tested and pressure tested and work for some. But once you understand the tricks, once you understand the manipulative components and elements, then you're able to read behind the lines and at least be on guard, at least know where they're coming from and what they're trying to achieve, which may not necessarily be in your best interests or in your family's best interests. So this book goes through a number of little hacks, as I said before, marketing hacks, and it tries to teach a person how to either be an expert or appear to be an expert to others so that they can sell their product or sell their services. So one of the first hacks that this author talks about is the importance of showing your prospects, that it didn't just work for you, but it also worked for people just like them. And that's one of the key points in getting them to believe in your framework, in your marketing message, in your product. So it's basically getting yourself in front of people, getting yourself in front of your prospects, and convincing them and influencing them in a way by showing them that the product that you have not only worked for you, so you need to be convinced of the benefits of the product in terms of how it would work for you, but you need to show them that it not only worked for you, but it worked for other people just like them, so that they can open up and become receptors to your message, so that you can continue sharing the features and benefits, and also get them to lower their resistance, to lower their defenses so that you can close the deal and sign them up. So this book is about turning a marketing plan into a success, turning questions into answers, looking at your product and services from your clients, from your prospective clients and customers' perspective. So the book is broken up into a number of secrets, so-called secrets, to make it mystical, to make it magical, and to make it enticing. And the first 10 secrets of the book are the most powerful tools for everyone looking to build a pitch that actually sells. So the author goes through and identifies a few of these secrets. We're not going to talk about all of the secrets. The key message that comes from this platform that I have is what I try and do is I try and identify 2 or 3 key points from each book, to summarize a few of those points and to share those points with my friends and family, so that we have at least something to think about and something that we can learn and implement from each of the books and each of the book summaries that we get to go through. So one of the key points that comes from this book is where the author encourages us to create an attractive and charismatic leader. We need to attract and we need to secure a charismatic and attractive. They're 2 really important points, so we need to harp on those points. So when you want to get a message across, and it's been happening for many years, it's not as if it's something new. Ever since I was a lad, advertising would use attractive and charismatic leaders to sell us cigarettes, beers, holidays, and whatever product or service that was being launched. So attractive and charismatic is the key in order to get people to pay attention to your marketing message. And I guess we're all wired in the same way. You know, we're all looking for someone who is attractive. We are all looking for somebody who has charismata, who just stands out and captures our attention and our imagination, and to go along the way and to try and be like them, I guess, is what the whole purpose of having these charismatic and attractive leaders in the first place. Because we're all looking to become influential, we're all looking to become sexy, we're all looking to stand out in order to find our life partner, and we're all looking to, I guess, to a certain extent, to be better than what we were, and to learn from others who are successful, or at least appear to be successful. So the next point that the author talks about is, once you've got somebody who's sexy, attractive, and influential and charismatic, then you need to glorify your cause and build a movement or cult around your product. So that's one of the second points. So as you can see, there's a recipe for success. There are a number of ingredients that need to be sequentially sourced and included in order to get the desired outcome. And what the author here is saying is that we need to build a cult. We need to glorify our cause and to make ourselves appear much more important, much more better than what we actually are, and to make things look like a great opportunity. A lot of people that we come across are typical procrastinators. They don't make decisions, just like ourselves. You know, we drift along in life, not dabbling in many things, but sometimes there are people who come into our lives who just capture our imagination and motivate us to action. And what the objective is from this book summary is to try and get people on board, to get people on the bandwagon, to get people included, because what happens is that once you get one or two people started, once you build momentum, then what happens is that attracts other people to the cause, and it attracts other people. So you need to hustle, you need to get people moving, you need to get the message across, and you need to generate excitement around your product and service is a key message that's coming from this author. And you need to make things look like they're a big opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime. As my stockbroker always tells me, the opportunity of a lifetime comes once or twice a day. Yeah. But that's the sort of attitude that you need when you're in sales, to encourage people to think of everything as being a massive and exciting opportunity that they need to get on board with, else they get left behind and they don't make money, they don't become successful, and they don't enjoy the fruits of what this life has to offer them. So the author says that one of the keys is to not only get people on board, but to build early results, to build early wins, to give people what they initially wanted, and present yourself as the hero, as the person who they're going to be able to depend on, and who is always going to be able to deliver on their promises time in, time out. Sounds like a bit of a pyramid scheme, to tell you the truth. But for most of us who have lived in Australia, you know, we've been sucked into many sort of so-called get rich quick schemes over the years. And this author here, once again, emphasizes how tricky it can be and how sticky it can be, because once you get sucked in, once you get connected to these groups, to these people, to this euphoria, then it's really hard to extricate yourself from it. And yeah, just making that point, just to once again tell you that for some people it's a lifestyle. This whole creating opportunities, this whole excitement generation is a lifestyle, and we have many people around us with this platform, or these platforms of social media. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook, we've got LinkedIn, and there's a whole plethora of new platforms gaining pace, and these platforms make it possible for people to have a platform, to have a voice, to be able to come across as an expert in a particular area, and to tap into and to reach pools and groups of people who have an interest and can be a potential market for their message. So the author here also encourages us to present as a modest beginner and to talk about the rags to riches sort of explosive success. And you see it all the time. People love getting sucked into, they love the story of the rags to riches. They love being involved with causes where people have gone from so-called rags to riches, which in many ways is a bit of a farce, is a bit of a facade just to sell product and service, because it's a wonderful storyline, and we need to be careful that we don't get sucked into it. And the author also says that one of the tricks of these so-called experts is to talk about and acknowledge the false beliefs that surround us and how they were able to overcome them, to talk about their internal and their external struggles, and to make things look much bigger, much grander, much more heroic than what they actually are. Because as we said, people love that narrative, people love that agenda, people love going along that storyline, and they can't get enough of it, I guess, is one of the points that this author reminds us about. The author then goes on to say that it's important to use technology to leverage your story and to perfect webinar whenever possible. And there are 4 steps that they take us through, the 4 different elements. You need to build rapport, you need to emphasize one thing, and what we've learnt through the political programs and the various Labor Party platforms is that Labor are really, really good at emphasising one thing. You know, you've got Albanese, and you've had Gillard in the past and other Labor leaders who just in their speeches just emphasise the one thing over and over and over again, because through emphasising that one thing you make it more important than what it actually is, and you get the point across, is the key message from this author. And the author says that you need to emphasise the one thing, you need to build rapport, you need to make people believe that you're like them, they're like you, you're experiencing the same sort of challenges, and you need to talk about, as what the author here says, the internal and external struggles and the vehicles that you've used to get through, over, under and beyond those struggles. And the author here says that you also need to stack the deck. You need to stack the deck so that you make your product and service look as if it's the best and the only solution to what they're looking for, to their problems. And you need to make people feel at ease so that they want to listen to you. And to talk about the solutions that your product or service delivers, the problem that your product solves, and the competition that your product has, and how the competition does not solve their problems but makes their problems worse. So as we see, as we hear, there is a formula for success. There's a way that you can trick your audience, the people, into believing that you are the saviour for them. Your product and service is the only thing that will help them. And you hear it and you see it all the time. But I guess the important takeaway for me is to understand that now we can't spend our time believing all this crap that we hear from these marketing agencies, from these organisations that talk about conspiracy theories, the people in our lives that promote fear, uncertainty and doubt, only to corral you, only to shape you, only to move you into a direction that they want, that they need you to go in order to trap you and to keep you there, so that you can't make your own personal choices, and that you end up relying on them as being the expert of trichas, the expert of rubbish, I guess is the point that we're trying to make here. And the author here also talks about the importance of making it easy to buy from, to make it easy for people to be able to shop from you, to make it easy for people to deal with you, to initially make it easy. And as we've learned in the past, it becomes then difficult to extricate yourself from those situations. Those so-called free trials, those awesome deals, end up becoming a trial and tribulation that we can never get away from. And the last point that the author makes here is the importance of having a good marketing campaign, a good email campaign, and to keep in touch with your clients, your customers, because your customers are the source of not only current revenues, but future revenues and future reference points. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's the first day back at work after a number of days, and I look forward to kicking off this Tuesday, see where it leads me, and to enjoy this Holy Week for the Greek Orthodox. The Greek Orthodox celebrate Easter a week after the Roman Catholics and the Protestants, and it's going to be a solemn week for me. I'll just keep my head down as best I can and to get to the weekend, and I look forward to celebrating with my family and friends. Anyway, take care everybody. Yassas, bye for now, and happy Tuesday. And I look forward to coming to you again from a different place, with a different message of empowerment, where we can go through and learn yet some more OPE from other authors, from other books, and continue to add to our inventory of knowledge. Take care, Yassas, and bye for now.